And I realized then what my mom said, it's better to be seen, not heard. And you learn something. Young kids today, if they would only listen to mom and dad, to grandma and grandpa, that older person, they've already been down the road. And man, the wisdom that you can learn. Amen? Amen. The wisdom that you can learn. So you see what he says? He says, the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So God hears what we say. Amen. He takes notice. He listens. Not only to our prayers, he knows when we speak. He says, I know the intent of your heart.
Amen.
That's why I remember a guy I used to drive a truck with. He would drive his truck in front of me, and we'd go to Alabama together. And he was an older sergeant in the military. And he told me one time, he said, you know in your heart who you are. And he said, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter what they say. In your heart, if you know it's right with God, 7-Up, that's what they call me, my CB handle 7-Up. He said, 7-Up, it doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they think. Because you know in your heart that God is right. And you're right with God. That's all that matters. And he told me that probably 20 years ago, and it really dawned on me. You know what? It doesn't matter what people think. But people get mad when they say ugly things. We get mad when people say ugly things. It hurts. It does. We get mad when people say ugly things about us. And our first reaction, and I preached a message on this, don't react to how they act. Because people are going to act and say things that are going to hurt you. Don't react to that. Because that's what they're wanting you to do. Don't be foolish. When I was in school, I was a big kid. Kind of like a little boy here in the blue. I was kind of chunky. Tall, chunky. And in first grade, man, when you weigh 120 pounds in first grade, and everybody else is 60 and 70 pounds, they want to mess with you a little bit. And then you walk away, chicken, you're a chicken. I could care less what they thought. I walked away from more fights than I ever were in. Why? Because I walked away. I didn't care about that. It didn't bother me. I don't care what they think. I used to have people say all the time when I was a kid, I was chunky, fatty, 2x4. Couldn't fit through the back of the door. I said, I fit through it just fine at the house. Amen. Amen. Walk right on through. You see what I'm talking about? If we allow what they say to affect how we're going to react, that's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's what they want. Most divorces are over stupid stuff like that. Now, let's go to Proverbs 18 and 21. This is just a prelude to the message. I mean, I might not even get to the message today. I have to get next week the rest of it. 18 and 21. Look what 18 and 21 says. So far, we've talked about knowledge and the tongue being a foolish man, not thinking, using our mouth and our lips and just saying stuff we shouldn't say. Listen to what the proverb says in 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now, I said that the tongue and a lie is so deadly. Life and death are in it. Do you realize that in the day that we live in, how many teenage girls are killing themselves because people get on the internet with their tongue and run their mouth about her? And say ugly things, and they can't handle it, and they end up killing themselves. There was a little girl last year, I think it was, or the year before last, beautiful child, 16 years old. These other girls were jealous because she was a pretty girl. She was gorgeous. And they began to make fun of her on the internet and began to pass it around school, putting it on the internet. She got so sick of the ridicule and the hatred that she come home and she hung herself. Ended her life because of foolishness. Where if she'd have just looked and said, you know what you say doesn't matter to me. What you say doesn't matter to me. I'm going to live for my life. And go on about her business. But it's here, she's in the ground now. Because she let the tongue there's death and there's life in it. What we say can hurt people. It can hurt to the point of death. It can hurt to the point that you ruin somebody's character and destroy them. And then when they walk by and people see them, oh yeah, I thought so. Yeah. And they start talking. And what you do, What you do when you see people like that, you just lift your head up, walk right on more prouder. Because as long as you know in your heart that you're right with God, that's all that matters. Because you're not going to stand before that person telling that lie or doing what they should be doing. You're going to stand before God one day, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. We used to have a saying, my mom told me, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Do you remember that? Say that all the time. They used to make the kids mad when they would look at me and they'd say, Fatty, Fatty, 2x4, couldn't fit through the bathroom door. I'd say, sticks and stones. You might break my bones, but your words ain't going to hurt me. That make them mad, boy, because they want me to get right with them, see. Or see, my last name is Roach. So you know what kind of mess I call with that, don't you? Hey, Roach Bug! We're going to squash you. You a big old cockroach. Cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. That's what they used to say. And you see, they thought that they could get my goat, but after time, they didn't bother me. I didn't care what they called me. You see what I'm saying? So words can only hurt you so much if you let it. But you don't even have to let it do that if you don't want to. All you got to do, and I'm going to finish this message. I'm going to get back started on it next week. All you got to do is somebody, especially kids today, kids have such a hard time. If somebody comes up and get in your face, girls and boys, walk away from them. You don't have to fight them. Now, I will be the first to tell you, you do everything you can to walk away. Try to walk away. If they come back around and get in your face again, they go to wailing on you, you go to wailing back. Amen? Ain't that right, Brother Miller?
Amen.
That's just that fact. Now, I ain't telling you to take a whipping. I'm telling you to walk away. If they go to whipping on you, you go whip it right back on them. Amen?
Yeah.
Amen. But you try not to say anything ugly about anybody. It's not worth it. And if somebody calls you and says, well, you know, so-and-so, boy, I tell you what, hang up on them. Hang up on them. You ain't got time for that nonsense. Like I said, if you want to talk and praise somebody, man, did you know what so-and-so done? Or you know what Miss So-and-so done? Or you know what so? Boy, I tell you, I appreciate them so much. That's the good stuff.
Amen.
That's the stuff you want to hear. But they, well, you know what? So-and-so wouldn't even shake my hand. You believe that? Wouldn't even shake my hand. Wouldn't even talk to me at church. You believe that? I might not shake everybody's hand. I might miss you some kind of way. That's why I try to run to the back. No, it's not intentional. I promise it's not intentional. You know? But you wouldn't believe the people that stir up strife over foolishness like that. Mm-hmm. Did you see what Ricky was wearing at church? Can you believe that boy would wear that? I'm not going to mention any names. This happened in this church. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to mention names. I got a call one Sunday afternoon. Brother, man, that thing made me so hot, man. I was mad. I had to pray about it. Did you see what that little girl was wearing in church? Shorts up to her backside. And I said, no, I didn't really pay attention. I said, I don't look at too much what people wear. Especially I'm not looking at little girls, okay? I told this person that. And I said, I'll talk to you later. I hung up the phone. The conversation didn't go any further. I told him that and I hung up. The next week, that same person's granddaughter came to church. Now, I'm going to show you how God works. And she had shorts up to here. I got a call that Sunday afternoon. I want to apologize to you because my own granddaughter was dressed like that little girl the Sunday before. I said, that's fine, no problem. I understand. And I hung up. You see what I'm talking about? If you go to talk about somebody, God's going to show you something that you're wrong. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. What was strange to me is, why are you looking at little girls in the church? That got me. That bothered me. Because let me tell you something, there's not a child in here or a woman in here, I'm going to tell you, or a man in here for that matter, that you should not have any kind of intent of looking directly on them or their person all the time. It's not right. What's not right is when you go to talking about it to other people. And I wasn't the only one that got that phone call. Okay? So you see what I'm saying? It's about, now that person don't go here anymore, but that's fine. What I'm trying to say is, we don't talk. We don't talk. We should not listen. If somebody calls you today, if it's not a joyful, as the Bible says, a joyful communication, like Miss Sandy singing or Miss Lydia singing or one of y'all doing something for the kids or something and saying something real positive and real joyful, hang up. It ain't worth it. Come on, Miss Sandy. It's not worth it. So you know not to call my house. If you call my house with negative, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm just going to tell you that ahead of time because I don't do that.